Majlis 95. Between local lines, notes from the Emirate.
Notes from the Emirates indeed. Welcome back onto the program. On November 3, the UAE will be observing the UAE Flag Day. But on November 3, Nama Women Nama Women Advancement will be hosting a very, very important panel discussion, and it's going to be a round table looking at gender equality in greater detail. Now, to talk to us about that event in particular, we're very kindly joined by Head of PR and Social Media Section for Nama Women Advancement, Shahade Abu Libde. Very good morning to you, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Abdul Karim. Thank you, and thank you, Rania, for having me here.
Well, we're looking forward to this discussion. Now, let's start off by talking about who's going to be in this roundtable, what's happening, where is it taking place, and what's going on.
Awesome. So the event will be taking place at the House of Wisdom in Sharjah on November 3rd. And the list of panelists will include spokespeople from NBC, Accenture, Predixa. So what we did here is that we made sure to have a list of events, a list of people that are familiar with the topic of inclusion.
And like, what key themes will the discussions be focusing on or revolving around?
Well, we always aim to have a diverse group of speakers. With this event, we are particularly pleased about our speakers because they present different perspectives and angles on women's inclusion in the workplace. For example, Nada Taryam will be talking more about women in STEM, considering her role at BIA and how she succeeded in taking a road that is traditionally male-dominated. Sharing her experience. We have Paula Newby from Predixa, as I said, who is an expert on diversity and inclusion with 25 years of experience, sharing data and knowledge on how diversity and inclusion matter for businesses. And we have Badriya Saeed from MBC Group talking about culture and promoting inclusive environments within organizations, given the work that MBC is doing. Now, the criteria that we follow in the programs department at NAMA of selecting panelists and partners in general is usually based on factors such as noticing what they are doing around the topic of inclusion in terms of initiatives and policies, whether them personally or the organizations that they present. And at many times, we'd get contacted by organizations that are generally interested in being part of what we do, which naturally reflects on not just women, but economies and societies as well. Now, let me answer your second question, Rania, which is the themes that the discussions will be focusing on. As the title suggests, this event is about setting a roadmap. So we are all about action-oriented solutions. And that's why this panel will address how we can set a roadmap to make sure that gender equality is a strategic priority and implemented within organizations. We will start off by understanding where and what are the current statuses of women in organizations, what are some of the challenges, we will identify where we want to be and the goal we aspire to reach, and what it means to have gender-inclusive organizations. And then we will discuss the strategies and tools to achieve that goal. It will be very much focused on initiatives that can be taken to promote gender-inclusive workplaces. We will hear recommendations from panelists and the audience, and we will address different angles when it comes to gender equality. So, for example, issues such as work-life balance, women in STEM, women in leadership, and much more. So each panelist will be sharing their angle on how we can make a roadmap or follow a roadmap to achieve gender equality in the organization. We always work on plans that are action-driven. And Her Highness Sheikha Jawahar bint Mohammed Al-Qasmi, wife of the ruler of Sharjah and chairperson of NAMA, always asks about the impacts of the projects that we work on. This time, we will be focusing on hearing the experiences and best practices that our guests have to share around the topic of achieving gender equality and how their initiatives have reflected on the overall performance of the company. We also look forward to hearing from the attendees on challenges that they faced and finally being able to come out with recommendations.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like a very insightful discussions are going to be taking place. So who can join it? Do we need an invite, or can anyone who visits House of Wisdom can join it, or do you have an online stream that people can listen in?
I think we just ticked the three boxes of your questions, Abdul Karim. So mainly we are targeting representatives from the private sector, decision makers, policy makers, and people who can influence and advocate for a change. And people who are generally interested in understanding how general equality could be promoted within organizations. So there will be a live stream through our Instagram account. And in terms of registration, it's open to anyone interested, as I said, in the topic. However, they need to register through the link that has been posted throughout our social media accounts at Nama Woman. We have noticed an interest from people who occupy roles of HR, diversity and inclusion, and CEOs. But if you think about it, every female employee needs to know her rights to be able to reach her goals. All HR staff want motivated employees. Every CEO wants to move in the right direction towards a company's success, and every person could persuade the company to have gender-inclusive policies. In terms of streaming, the event will be streamed, as I said, through our Instagram account. And whoever prefers to attend physically will find the link there.
And what is the expected outcome of this discussion, hopefully?
Well, one of the main aspects is that we want to provide a chance for companies to work together. We want to create that platform for businesses to discuss women's inclusion in the private sector and learn from each other's experiences. And other than that, learning how to build or develop existing gender-inclusive strategies and policies. Research has proven that having those has reflected on the growth of sustainability of companies, such as having enough women on board or having equal training opportunities or women's access to managerial positions. And as the name of the event suggests, which is Connect with Irtiqa, is that we are giving companies an opportunity to reach out free of charge for one-on-one assistance on how to be more inclusive. We have received a lot of feedback from companies saying that they are interested in achieving inclusion, yet they don't know how to do that, and that is what we are bringing to the table through Irtiqa.
Amazing. Now, you know, this is a topic that's been discussed for a number of years, gender equality and promoting it, and it's not the first year we're doing it. Can you talk to us about any successful case studies that NAMA has got following, you know, the number of events and these sort of initiatives that you've been organizing?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Abdul Karim. First of all, I would like to highlight that according to a report published by the UN last September, at the current rate, it could take up to 286 years to close the gender gap. This is naturally alarming that actions needs to be taken towards equality, and that is no longer a choice. At Nama Women, we contribute to those efforts, and we are glad that we've been able to impact the lives of thousands of women in the UAE and around the world. For example, our affiliate, Earthy Contemporary Crafts Council, has incubated local artisans and non-local artisans as well that did not have a source of income. Today, those women are financially independent and work on product requests received from leading luxury brands such as Cartier and Bulgari. Another affiliate is the Sharjah Business Women Council, which until date has more than 2,000 members, receiving benefits such as training and having their work showcased at local and international events and exhibitions. We also have a program in collaboration with UN Women called FPI, which has trained thousands of women entrepreneurs on how to build, grow, and sustain their businesses through online training, both in UAE and around the world. In South Africa, more than 4,000 women benefited from that training and stated that it helped them maintain their businesses or even discover new sources of income during the lockdown, which, by the way, lasted for more than 6 months in South Africa. Mm-hmm. Another aspect of the project is raising awareness on the importance of gender-responsive procurement, which, for those who are unfamiliar with the term, means buying from women-owned businesses. This has influenced the government of South Africa to set a rule for all businesses, and that is that they have to take a minimum or do a minimum of 40% procurement rate from women-owned businesses. So they need to buy from women-owned businesses. Another project, finally, is the Girls Empowerment Program in Kenya, which empowered 333 girls and young women with primary education, life skills, and vocational training. The list goes on and on since we've been operating since 2015. And despite the great outcomes, there's still a lot to be done, and we cannot do it on our own. That is why we are inviting the audience to take part in our event at the House of Wisdom this Thursday, or to even get in touch with us to have a more inclusive workplace and to contribute to closing the gender gap.
Well, we're looking forward to those discussions, a roundtable at the House of Wisdom taking place on November 3. And thank you very much, Shahada Abu Libda, who's joined us very kindly from Nama Women Advancement. If you'd like to know more about this event, you can log on to Nama's website and also follow them on their social media handles, where they'll also be live streaming this discussion. Stay with us here on the program. If you'd like to catch up with this discussion, you can do so on our SoundCloud and Apple Podcast and Spotify. And we shall be back again right after some more musical entertainment.